Good evening, everybody. I hope you're having a lovely day, evening, wherever you are. So, this stream is 12 hours late. It's been a day. I couldn't get this camera to work. I reset the tablet, I reset my Wi Fi on it. It wasn't having it. I also couldn't get my earbuds to work. You'd hear audio, I'd hear no audio. The microphone was working fine, but I couldn't hear anything. I'm like, well, I want to hear music too. So I gave up on that. And so then I went about my day, played some BattleBit. I did my sewing. I just didn't stream it. So I'm already halfway through the project. Sorry, you didn't get to see it. I was just taking sleeves off of this jacket, which we'll see here in a second. But yeah, went about my day, came back, was playing with some friends, and I'm just in a mood. And everybody else's moods were affecting my moods, so I wasn't having that either. So like, all right, you know what? Let's see if I can fix whatever was wrong with everything. And well, the camera's working. All it took was another restart on the Wi-Fi. Turn the unhook it from the Wi-Fi, hook it back up to the Wi-Fi. Who knew? The audio, I thought I had it fixed. I don't know. So we're using my regular mic and headphones. This is not my normal setup. I can't go very far, but I think we'll be okay for right now because I'm not planning on going anywhere. We're sitting here putting some black ribbon on the sleeves that I've taken off of this sequined jacket. The nice kind of tailed jacket that my friend has. She's going to Vegas and she wants a fun sequin jacket, so she bought one, but the sleeves are too long. She's much kind of like me, short sleeves or short arms, so she decided she just wanted no sleeves and just make it into a vest. It's like, yeah, that's doable. So her concern was the feel of the sequin. Of course, it's very rough, and she didn't want that on her skin. So my initial thought was I'll just use some of the lining from inside the sleeve and make bias, but this is very gray-y lining, and I didn't feel like dealing with that. So we're gonna use satin ribbon, and we're essentially going to make a pretty satiny cover to go over the sleeves. I don't know if that picks up well enough. Meh. I'm a little limited in the size of ribbon that I have on hand. And we are doing... Is it 3/4 inch ribbon? 7/8 inch ribbon. 1 inch or more would be my ideal. But we're gonna make it work. It's fine. It is fine. Make the overlap happen underneath the arm. That just seems to make sense. Start lining it up, and I have my pins undone. we could be really fancy. Stitch it, turn it. Just don't know if I want to deal with the turning it. If I do stitch it right sides together, I'm gonna need to stitch it really close to the edge and probably need to use a zipper foot. That is probably the best thing to do. I was today years old the first time I sewed on sequined fabric. Wasn't sure how that was gonna go, but my machine handled it fine. Hopefully round 2 continues being fine. My concern about using the ribbon though is it's not on the bias, so it's maybe not going to go around these corners, or yeah, the curves of the arm super well. We'll see what we get. I know it's been a good 3 or 4 weeks since I last did a Sew About Saturday. Summer became really super busy. And it's not done yet. It's gonna be another couple weeks at least before I'm able to do another round of Sew About Saturdays. And then I wasn't even able to do my World Be World Wednesday this week. Well, I could have, I just didn't know if it was gonna actually, if the weather was going to cooperate so that I could actually play and not have to worry that I was gonna get disconnected. We had a big old storm go through early Wednesday morning. It didn't knock out my power, but it did knock out my internet for a little bit. It was back in time, but the storm wasn't over yet. So I was like, alright, you know what, we're not gonna stream this, just don't want to deal with the headache of wondering if I'm gonna lose connection. This is so chunky. They did an interesting thing with the shoulder pads. I was expecting maybe like actual shoulder pads, but no, they used felt, just layers of felt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers of felt to create the shoulder pads. That's a interesting idea. I've never considered building shoulder pads like that, but it works. looks like a lot of people must be off over the summer. I was like trying to find other streamers doing some sewing stuff, and it was really hard to find anybody. I think even right now there's only 2 other people with a sewing tag on. I may regret that drink. We'll see. Made myself it's a weak coffee. Like I'd already made a cup of coffee with a fresh amount of coffee grounds in the little K-cup. So I ran it through with the same already used coffee beans. But then I've also added some dark chocolate hot cocoa mix. Who needs sleep? Excuse me. Alright. I suppose I could go ahead and pin this one onto the other side and not worry about whether I have enough, or stop worrying about whether I have enough. Yeah, I'm gonna have plenty. Because, you know, who measures things? Not it. Yeah, we're fine. Obviously, this is not the picture, not the project that's in the picture down below, which is what I ideally like to have going on, but this is also not something that I'm making off of a pattern. It's kind of a one-off. Right now I'm mainly sewing for myself. I'm not taking any commissions or anything. But occasional exceptions are made. And this happens to be one of those. I hope everybody's been having a wonderful day, or that their day is going to go well, wherever you are in the world, whatever your time zone. Got to spend some time this afternoon outside at a park. Had a friend come into town. They're camping. And we met up for lunch, which ended up being a late lunch. And I'm still full from it, so I guess that was also supper. I feel like I'm hungry, but I'm pretty sure it's just boredom, hunger, or yeah. Going over that 5 layers of felt is gonna just be a task. It's almost as wide as the ribbon's gonna be when I do fold that over, but I guess at the beginning of my last Sew About Saturday, I had fixed a strap on a dress, and I was like, alright, this is great, I'll be able to wear this again, huzzah! And so then I proceeded to go put it in the wash and move on about my day, and when I took it out of the wash, now one of the side ties is fraying out, and that seam is coming undone. It's like, so it's gonna have to go back in the bin. And now, do I put it to the top of my fix-it bin because it was supposed to be fixed and I thought I had it fixed, or is it now to the bottom and I got to take care of everything else? I don't know. I also did start a project off camera It's yeah, you can see the green is on the cutting board. I just haven't done anything with them yet. And I don't know if I will do that one on camera or if I'll just do that in betweens. But there's a cute kind of leisure, not really loungewear, but leisure wear pattern that I have had for a while. And I am challenging myself with knits. I've got it. I've got the first part all cut out. It's a shirt made of cute, stretchy, gray. It's probably polyester. T-shirt knit, lightweight. And if it works, it's gonna be really, really cute. If it doesn't, I'll have wasted some time on knit fabric, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, we need to change this presser foot. Oh, I wonder if maybe that one would work better than the zipper foot. What's this one for? What side of the foot does the needle go on? Oh. Yeah, I think this could be a good one. Like, I'm using this foot. Eventually, probably, I'll go look it up and see what it actually is. But it's kind of like a half a regular presser foot, but it's not, like it's got the hole here in the kind of center of it. I mean, it's centered on it, but then it's got just one foot. All these years in sewing, and I don't know really what the terminology for all the bits and parts on the presser feet are, but as opposed to a zipper foot where it's one foot right in the middle and you move your needle to one side or the other, I'm betting this will work pretty well for what I'm trying to do. I need to stitch close to the edge, but this allows me to not have to move my needle. It's getting a little wonky. Go figure. So thus far, what I had done was just I unstitched because this is fully lined. I picked out the stitches on the lining, then picked out the stitches for the actual sleeve to separate the two, and not realizing that it's felt creating the shoulder pad. I very quickly realized I was going to need to clip it to keep it together. Otherwise I'll just have felt pieces all over the place, and I don't want to have to reposition them. They were fine where they were. So I got some good use out of my wonder clips. And then I just ran a basting stitch on each sleeve to keep the layers together while I look for something to bind the seam with. And where I am stitching this down right now is going to show those basting stitches, so I will definitely be getting rid of those then when this is all over and done with. Mine I just stitched off of the binding. It's right at the edge, but it didn't quite go off. Huzzah! So now I have a ribbony extra bit on the edge. And that'll look really nice then when I pull it over and stitch it down. Yeah, that'll be nice. And it still has, it's a little shinier than the lining, but not like super obvious that they're two different things. Putting on mascara 12 hours ago. Now it's running a bit. Also, we're getting tons of smoke again. I thought it was just humid this morning, and then I realized that no. It's smoky. Other sleeve. But is this not just the sparkliest, most sequiny thing? It's so fun. So then the next bit, when I stitch down on the lining, I've got two options. Both will probably end up taking about the same amount of time, I would think. I can hand stitch it, and then it would absolutely be invisible from the front. You won't see any stitching because it'll just be stitched into the lining. Or I could do a stitch in the ditch from the outside. The danger on that one being that I won't be able to see the ribbon on the back side. Make sure that I've caught it. Choices. Trying to feel in the stitch in the ditch. I know, it's really late, you can do it. You're a beast. You got this. Oh, hello, Commander Jupe. How are you today? It's going pretty well. How are you? I was having technical difficulties earlier today, so I wasn't able to do my stream, you know, at the 9 a.m. that I usually do it. So I decided I was going to do it at 9:30, well, 9 o'clock tonight instead. So, you know. Oh, no. that where it needs to be. I'm turning, this was a very shiny jacket into a vest. My friend bought it for our trip to Las Vegas, and the time traveler's ball that we're having, and she got it in a size that fits her, which is great, except that the arms are way too long. I'm doing all right. Don't often get to catch your streams because you're a night owl. Yeah, for real. No, I said so I'm having just a bizarre day anyways. I was having technical issues. I couldn't get this camera to work. I couldn't get my earbuds to work. And I couldn't figure out why. So I was like, all right, whatever. Well, I just need to do my project anyways, so no stream, I guess. And so then tonight I was like, oh, let's see if I can figure it out at least what, let's get this working. And I thought I had the audio thing figured out. And then this camera just started working just fine. No big deal. Just disconnected it from the Wi-Fi and reconnected it to the Wi-Fi. Pretty sure I did that, but nice flex, bro. Whatever. At least it works, right? The audio, I thought I had it working, and then it just didn't. I don't know. If you guys would be able to hear the music, I wouldn't be able to hear the music. I have to hear music. Otherwise, I'm stuck here listening to my own. Or at least have music to listen to. Also. So, like, alright, well, we're gonna go with a different set of headphones than I would normally do, and my better microphone, I guess. And just hope I don't knock it while I'm moving around. Snips. Did I not snip the other one? I have no memory of snipping the threads on the other sleeve. That's unlike me. I feel like maybe this was too close to the edge. Oh, no, it'll be okay. It's all good. Check the threads on the other side because that's gonna bother me if they're... I did not clip them! I did not! Have you been playing any new games recently, or any fun ones? I'm sure they're all fun. What would be the point of playing a game if it's not fun? But... now I just have to pull this ribbon over to the back side. And I have changed my mind. We are not going to stitch in the ditch. This is 100% getting hand sewn. I'm gonna put the pins away. We're gonna use the Wonder Clips. I love those. They're so proud of themselves, right? The Wonder Clips. I'm pretty sure this, like, binding is where the Wonder Clips came from. Pretty sure it's the jumbo ones that were the initial ones. And they were made for quilters and putting on their binding. It is actually really warm in here for once. Probably because I have the window open, but still. It's usually super chilly. I am sweating. And again, because it's not cut on the bias or created on the bias, it's gonna look kind of funky. Another reason why it's probably a good idea to be hand stowing it down. Bear with me just a second. I'm going to turn the fan on. It's a dumb concern. I hope the reflection doesn't become bothersome. It's picking up speed. It'll be... yeah. That's not too bad. If I were really good, I probably should iron this at this point before I flip it around. That would probably be the wise move. Nice thing about working with the ribbon, the edge is already finished, so I don't have to. I really don't have to fold it under on the back. Would it be really nice? But it's not. I don't think it's super necessary as long as I'm stitching close to the edge so it doesn't catch on anything I want to flip up. Needle do I want to use for this? Should be fine. I think I'm just gonna do the same kind of stitch that I would do when making a hem. I think it's called a whip stitch. It's not a super secure load-bearing stitch. It doesn't really need to be. Like this particular seam, it's not holding anything together so much as just, yeah, I don't know. It won't have stress on it, or it shouldn't. Still gonna do a double up the thread, but it should not require. Oh my goodness, this is the wrong needle. It is. Okay. I feel like I grab this needle every time I get it threaded. I'm like, it's not the needle I want. It's like a leather needle. It's got a wider point on it than I want to use. No. I'm getting knots all up at the top of my thread. That's no good. There we go. There's where I want to start. There it is. I'm just going to do these approximately thumb width apart. I'm just picking up the lining fabric and then on my down and then coming up through the ribbon. There's really any good way of showing what I'm doing. I don't have a camera over on my side. There's no room over here for a camera on my side. And also black on black is just not gonna show up, pretty sure. I do hope everybody's having a wonderful summer so far. It's been maybe a little warmer than usual. Definitely more smoky than I remember it being in the last few years, but I'm adding a new night that I might start doing some streaming. Um, my Mondays have now freed up. Well, yeah, not this Monday specifically, but in general, probably starting the following Monday, my Mondays have freed up, and so I'm contemplating using those as a stream night, either for gaming or for sewing. Almost to the end of this thread. I'll have to tie it off and start a new one soon. We'll tie it off on this one. Look at that. We've just past 10 o'clock. It's past my bedtime. I might have made this one a little long. It's probably going to tangle a few times before I'm done with it. called? Boy. Oh no. There you go. No, just go through, please. Burials. There we go. Almost done with the first sleeve. kind of really tangled with this time. Oh. Not even really sure where the snag is. The actual pet. This will not go either direction here. No. Ooh, I might be boned. Ha 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 ha. Come. There we go. Ta-da! Can I describe what happened? Not really. The two threads somehow twisted and didn't want to go through the fabric. But all is well. I am a good negotiator, apparently. That off. Alright. That takes care of sleeve number 1. It doesn't really matter where I start this, but in my mind it does. So, there we go. Looking for the overlap. I was thinking with this polyester thread I wasn't going to need to use the thread magic stuff, but maybe I really should have been. Like a primer or conditioner for the thread. I definitely tend to use it on cotton threads. Don't always use it on the polyester thread because polyester, it'll slide right on itself, no big deal, but apparently not tonight. I am happy to report the coveralls or overalls that I did over the last few, so about Saturdays, have gotten a lot of wear. They are right now one of my favorite things to wear. I had to do a little bit of adjusting on them. The straps were too long, and so I ended up, initially I tried just moving the buttons on the back to where I thought maybe that would keep the straps from falling off my shoulders. And also shortening the straps. It started with shortening the straps. That was great, but they fall off my shoulders. I've got narrow shoulders and they're very slopey now. Fix the one eye, I didn't fix this eye. Dang it. So even though I shortened them, the shoulders and the straps still fell off my shoulders, so I moved the buttons in a little bit towards the center on my back, and that helped a little bit, but they were still sliding off. So then after the first time that I wore it, which was to the Potter Festival here in Omaha, I undid the shortening of it at the front and made it so that the straps would crisscross instead. I didn't move the buttons back, I left them where they are, or where they were when I moved them. And that seems to be working pretty well. almost there. I think I made this piece of thread a little shorter, so I will probably have to cut another one to finish this off. But that's alright. It's not tangling as badly as it was earlier. Also, using a little more tension on it. On the bit that I'm... before it goes through the fabric. And I'm super descriptive. I hope that made sense. It probably didn't. So close. I will regret it if I try to make this piece of thread last all the way to that last seam. Like, I'll have nothing to make the knot with. One more stitch. Probably gonna take me 3 more stitches to get to the end, but you know. Good news about this piece, won't have to be real long. Literally have 2 inches left to go. Alright, there we go. Called it 3 stitches. And then a knot. Oh no! Come on now. I mean, yes, I'm trying to knot it, but like, don't knot like that. There we go. Easy peasy. I think all total, this project I think it took me maybe 2.5 hours taking the sleeves off and basting the layers together. Now we're at 10:30. I started about 9 o'clock, so another hour and a half, so 4 hours this project's taken, which isn't too bad. Let's get rid of the basting stitches. Probably not visible on the camera because crappy camera, whatever. But I can see them, so we're gonna get rid of the basting stitches. Because, like, they're literally an inch in. Oh no, not an inch. Half an inch in. Maybe I'll pick them from the back side so I don't accidentally pick something that's a sequin thread. Or maybe I'm going to have a harder time with this than I thought I was. Be a different seam ripper. Use this one. Did the basting stitch with the largest stitch size I can on the machine so that they come out easy. Amazing. Picking through the belt section is not easy. Stitches created kind of a valley, which makes it really hard to grab them without snagging the lining fabric. Let's go to the other side of it. Just gotta pull from this much. Maybe doing okay. So if I pull bobbin thread, it'll pull up the top thread. No, that's not going to reliably work. Oh, maybe it will. Sorry, smacked my microphone. Aw. Yeah, it's all nice and... And I'll give it a press before I give it to her. Like, I can see it might kind of show up. Maybe. There's a seam that was part of the initial, like, it initially was the seam allowance there onto the sleeve. But it doesn't look too bad. I'll give it a press before I give it to her, and then she'll probably won't even notice. I've probably been mostly out of the camera this entire time. New monitor means new setup for the camera. I'll have to figure something out with that. But, oh, whatever. You don't need to see my face. Ahaha, yes. Wonderful. The last sleeve was significantly easier cutting those basting stitches out of. Why? Alright, I think I'm done. Well, again, I just need to iron it, but my ironing board is covered in stuff, and I have a bunch of other things that I need to iron between tomorrow and Monday. So this will just get added to that pile of things. Not really a pile, but that list of things. That is going to complete the finished project. Did I take a picture of the before? Heck no, I didn't. Why would I do such a thing? But I turned it from a jacket into a vest. Now she doesn't have to worry too much about overheating on the dance floor, and she doesn't have to worry about the fact that the sleeves were like 5 inches too long for her. So, but nice looking little costumey jacket. Vest now. With tailcoat, or tails. That's kind of fun. So, that is going to finish me up for the night. Thank you everybody for hanging out with me. I will catch you again in my next stream, whenever that might be. I'm not real sure. Definitely not this Wednesday or next Saturday. Possibly the following Wednesday. We'll see. I may create another not Twitch, like a Twitter. I don't know, something to do announcements on whether I'm gonna be streaming or not. So I'll work on that maybe in the next week or two. So whatever I end up with, I'll put links down in the bottom. So is there anybody to raid? It's really late now. I'm really tired. Imagine that. It's only 10:49. Let's see who's in Makers and Crafting. I have some friends who are streaming, but they're all gaming, so... Let's go jump in with some embroidery, it looks like. Go to the real Sunblade. Yeah, that'll be fun. Why not? Raid channel. Alright, raiding now.